We've seen people move people 1,000
Yeah.
times. He didn't move this guy. He wrecked him in the middle of the straightaway. I mean, when you see it, it's before they ever get to the corner. He's backing it. So, and then he gets out and raises his hands. You know, it's a punk move.
Hey race fans, welcome to Backseat Drivers. I am Alex Weaver, joined by NBC Sports' Kyle Petty and our resident analyst, Mamba Smith. Well, you can tell we're at the end of the NASCAR playoffs, not just because of the bags underneath all three of our eyes, but
true.
the intensity we saw at Martinsville Speedway. We finally have our championship four that will be racing for a championship on Sunday in Phoenix. But those spots were not filled without some hard-fought battles along the way. First, coming out of the Xfinity Series, Ty Gibbs moved Brandon Jones out of the way for the win.
More than a help.
Yeah, that's a move. That was a move.
This wasn't received well by drivers or fans. And then on Sunday in the Cup Series, Christopher Bell fought his way to the front the entire race and was able to close it out, but not without some last lap drama from Ross Chastain. We're going to name it later. We'll get into all that. But who pulled a move out of a NASCAR video game to slide past Denny Hamlin for the final championship four spot? Ross Chastain did. The Watermelon Man is locked in. And I don't want to say who picked Christopher Bell to win at Martinsville, but
Did you really?
I don't want to say. Oh,
I
yeah.
did.
I don't
Oh,
remember.
yeah. I do remember that.
Well,
Damn.
if he remembers. Let's get right into it. We saw a heck of a move from Ross Chastain with the last lap pass to get him into the championship four at Phoenix. Chastain had to pass Hamlin for the spot, and he did so in style, NASCAR video game style. Let's take a listen to what some of the drivers and one team owner had to say following Martinsville.
Played a lot of NASCAR 2005 on the GameCube with Chad growing up, and you could get away with it. And I never knew if it would actually work. And I did that when I was 8 years old, and I grabbed fifth gear. I asked off at 2 on the last lap if we needed it, and we did. I couldn't tell who was leading, and I just made the choice. I grabbed fifth gear down the back and full committed.
Great move, brilliant. I mean, certainly a great move by when you have no other choice. It certainly is easy to do that, but well executed.
I've never seen anything like that in my life, and it's incredible. It's a testament to how hard he works, how badly he wants it, and then and how much this team is behind him, that he would take a risk like that he would make a move like that, and I'm so proud of him and this entire organization.
I would have known that move that Ross did worked. I would have done that for 8 more laps. So,
I mean, we all did it when we were kids playing video games, but I thought about doing it in real life, but never really had the need to do it. He went for it. All the credit to him. I think it's nuts. We probably need to do something about it now, though, because now the box is open and you can't do that at every racetrack and for the win, and every car is up against the wall, and it's one little thing from going really, really bad, right?
Was Chastain's move clean or dirty? And would you like to see the rules change, KP?
Would I like to see?
You've been in the sport a long time.
No, listen, I think I can appreciate, I will say this first. I can appreciate what Joey says.
Mm-hmm.
I can appreciate what other drivers have said as they point that out. But you can't say that and then say, I'd wreck my mama, I'd wreck your mama, I'd wreck everybody in the grandstand's mama to win one of these things. Wrecking and doing what Ross Chastain did are two totally different things. Okay? Joey said, one little thing from going really, really bad. He was just one little step away from going really, really. Wrecking somebody is one step away from things going really, really bad. Ross Chastain saw an opportunity that few before had. I think Carl Edwards saw it at Kansas, and we've seen Kyle Larson try it a couple times, but no one has been as committed to the move as Ross Chastain.
We're not seeing this anywhere. I don't think anywhere else. And also, like the thought that everyone will just start doing it. The only reason Ross Chastain did it is because he had something to gain, like literally something to gain from it.
Yeah.
If it's not for this point system and him running that, if it's not for the point system, you don't see it.
Yeah.
Right? So, and I don't think everyone's just going to do that.
I don't
If
either.
you're second place, you're not just going to run the wall
Yeah.
when you have a chance to win doing it, regular.
The right way.
The right way. So, or maybe not unpopular opinion, you don't get this without this point system.
That's right.
So I don't want to hear anything about the point system. I don't like it. Winston Cup Series point system, it does not happen.
Great point.
The fans at Martinsville enjoyed it. We enjoyed it. Ross Chastain, Trackhouse
Enjoyed it.
enjoyed
Yes.
it because guess what? They're going after a trophy on Sunday,
exactly
so
right.
it worked. Well, a driver that will also be racing for a trophy this weekend at Phoenix. It's a different trophy. It's the Xfinity Series Championship, but Ty Gibbs is going to go to Phoenix with way less friends than he went into Martinsville with in the Xfinity Series garage, and he made sure to keep that up when he moved Brandon Jones out of the way for the win. Brandon Jones needed the win to race for a championship at Phoenix. Here's what some Xfinity Series drivers had to say post-race.
I definitely didn't want to wreck him, but I wanted to get him out of the groove. I felt like we lost earlier at the spring race just in the same way.
I have no words, I know that we had some fun beating and banging back and forth a little bit, but I've never, wrecked him or done anything for a win, and so it just kind of shows where that level is there.
I tell you, I just can't believe what I saw at the end. I've raced my whole life, and I've seen things happen, but I've never seen anything like that.
You restart on the outside and you win the race, you earned it. If you're third row, second row, and you just clean the guy out, I don't know if I agree with that.
All the mayhem with the 54 causing more problems at the end, it brought us back into it a little bit.
How does this change the credibility for Ty Gibbs in the garage? Because this is not the first time that we have talked about Ty Gibbs not making friends.
I don't believe it changed a lot in the garage. I think it changed the fans' perception of who Ty Gibbs is. I think Ty Gibbs has proven now to everyone that he's arrogant, entitled, thinks that he can just go in and take things when they're not his, and do it the wrong way. And that's what I don't like about it as much. We've seen people move people 1,000 times. He didn't move this guy. He wrecked him in the middle of the straightaway. I mean, when you see it, it's before they ever get to the corner. He's backing it. So, and then he gets out and raises his hands. It's a punk move. Sorry, it was a punk move, spinning his teammate, who he had moved his teammate twice before. Yeah, or his teammate had moved him, and it was not even payback when you look at that.
The thing about it to me, it was disappointing. And so things happen, right?
Yeah.
You make the move, and you do what you got to do, right? We always talk about you got to do what you got to do. But to me, the celebration after.
That's right.
That's the part.
That's the part
that I don't like, because if I make that move, I'm not going to rub it in your face that I did you dirty too.
Christopher Bell came out the actual winner because he pulled another rabbit out of the hat as he crossed the finish line first in Sunday's race. He was able to do that at the Roval to advance to the round of 8 as well. Winning when needed has become something the 20 team seems to excel at this season. I caught up with C. Bell himself in victory lane, and let's see what he had to say.
I don't know how it happened. What sucks is Charlotte Road Course and here, I feel like the wind gets taken away a little bit because you're so focused on the playoffs. And, this place has kicked my butt for so long in the Truck Series. I guess Xfinity cars didn't come here, but Truck Series in my first couple Cup races, I just struggled so bad. So I never would have envisioned winning at Martinsville. And now I get to look up and see a grandfather clock behind me, and on top of that, I get to go chase a ring next week.
I'm going to ask you guys if he's the new closer, but I think Dale Jarrett might have coined the new Iceman. I mean, you tell it, KP. Your old friend may have coined a new nickname.
Yeah, for sure. I go back to some of the things he answered with Dale and with Marty and myself and probably you, how important Adam Stevens is.
Every single
and
interview
his
he
commitment.
says this, yes.
Their commitment to each other, and you know that as a driver. Your commitment to that crew chief and that commitment to you. When he says, when you're running second, third, fourth, fifth, or leading the race, and he says, come on down pit road, we're going to give you tires, and there's only 2 laps to go. And you're willing to come down pit road, and that's not the scenario from yesterday. But my point is, when everything's on the line, you believe what that guy tells you. And when you start to doubt that, then things go crazy. They're in such a good place. And I will say this, Christopher Bell has been saying since mid-season, we are the best Gibbs team. We are the best Gibbs team, and it shows up here at the end of the season.
The last 2 wins, the Roval and Martinsville, they both did in the same way. Both of them went in the same way, got tires, and were like, all right, C-Bell, qualifying laps. And I am mind blown that he was able to do it twice. I'm like, and I said on this show, I'm like, look, they can't keep doing it this way to make it to the championship. I was wrong.
Yeah.
That's exactly what they did. And it was some gangster driving and gangster crew chiefing from both sides. And the boy's got ice in his veins.
Yeah, he does.
He really does.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into backseat bets. And these are going to look a little bit different because all that's on the line this weekend is a championship trophy for 4 drivers. Obviously, there can
That's
be
all. That's all, people. That's all. Nothing.
This is one of these rings.
But we're going to get into the Owners' Championship because that is on the line. You've heard Kyle Larson talk about that significantly in the last couple of weeks. And then we're also going to get into the Busch Light Pole because that will be awarded this weekend too. So maybe not all that's on the line is a trophy. So I take it back. First one, will a former champ win the 2022 Cup Series title? So that's 50% of the field. That's Chase Elliott or Joey Logano. So one or two. That's basically all you have to choose from, Mama.
No. We're gonna have a new champion. We're gonna have a new champion.
Singing a different tune over here.
Wow, man.
We're gonna have a new champ.
That's tough. You know what? I kind of think that too. I just get the feel this year. I'm just looking at the total year, okay, and how crazy and wild this year has been. How crazy the playoffs have been for Christopher Bell, what he's done in these playoffs. You look at what Ross Chastain and Trackhouse Racing has done as a new organization. So it just feels like new car, new champion, new everything this year.
All right, I like it. I can handle it. All right, which Cup team wins the Owners' Championship? So this is different than the Drivers' Championship. This is also different than the Manufacturers' Championship. So right now, KP, Penske, Joe Gibbs, Trackhouse, Hendrick.
But
correct?
Yeah, but Hendrick.
But Hendrick is the 5.
The 5.
Not the 9.
Right.
Yeah.
But the rest of them are the championship 4, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's because the 45, because Kurt Busch rescinded it, changed when all that happened. That's what changed.
Yeah.
So, which Cup team wins the Owners' Championship? KP?
Oh, so, because this just hedges my other, but I say Trackhouse.
Well, there's his race. Okay, Mama.
You know what? Because I think
this pretty much tells you.
I know it does. It does.
Not really. Not really.
No, you're right. You're right.
Because I think this would be so cool, and we haven't seen it, and it's usually something we only see at Xfinity, and we haven't seen it in a minute.
So Larson wins.
I'm gonna go with the 5 team winning the Owners' Championship.
Okay.
All right. I like it.
That's good.
I think it'd be so cool.
Okay, last one here on the backseat bets. Track position is going to be a key when it comes to, especially the Championship 4, when it comes to Phoenix. So will a Championship 4 driver start on the pole? Blaney won the pole in the spring. You're welcome. I gave him a little carrot.
That's not a
He
carrot.
did something this year.
That's not a carrot when we're not in it. Like, that would be a carrot if we would have won yesterday.
Yeah.
Ow.
Okay.
Are we getting a pole with a champ? No, I don't think so. I think because Briscoe is so fast there, I really think Briscoe's going to probably win the pole.
Yeah. I say no. I say no just from the numbers. Where you're saying there's 4 guys.
Sure.
Is one of these 4 guys going to win the pole?
I mean,
or those other
statistically,
32 guys?
Yeah.
One of those other
Statistically,
32 guys is going to win the pole.
Yeah.
That's the way I see it.
Okay. Well, we may have already. Well, I guess Mama and I did not.
I did not.
Y'all did
KP
not.
did.
I say Ross Chastain.
So let's get into our championship winning pick. This is different than the race winning pick. You obviously can have somebody different that wins the race. But we're going to decide who is hoisting that beautiful silver trophy at the end of the season. Obviously, Kyle Larson is the reigning champ. He is not going back-to-back. So it will be not a return winner for the next season back-to-back. But there are 2 drivers who could win their second championship. So, KP, go ahead, because we already know.
What? Oh,
Say
my
it
pick?
again.
My
Yeah.
pick is Ross Chastain. Ross Chastain. Listen, I had him in my Final 4 from the very beginning. In any pool, anything I did, and he has lived up to all my expectations, and we saw. Listen, he thinks outside the box, and we've heard Justin Marks say, Nobody knows how bad this kid wants it.
Yeah.
And that you can't measure. You can't measure that. You can't see inside someone like that. So I still go with Ross.
And I was gonna pick Christopher Bell because I was like, man, he just keeps walking off and doing it when it's biggest. Big time players make big time plays in big time games. But I gotta go with Ross Chastain. I said at the beginning, if he's there, you do not want. This is the one guy you don't want there.
That's right.
And I think he proved it at Martinsville. Whatever it takes.
Yep.
Whatever it takes. And
I love you guys so much.
Yeah,
will he make
there
it
we
the
go.
round of 16? I don't know. He might. I mean, Trackhouse. Will he make it the round of 8? I don't know.
I said he'd make it 8. I just didn't say he'd be in the 4. And now I'm saying
I
he's
had
winning
him in
it.
the 4, man. I had him in the 4.
Yeah.
All right. Well, after the momentum from Martinsville and being all over the place, I want to go with the 1. You guys will know where I will be in Nashville. It'll be Tootsie's with Team Trackhouse. I'm just letting y'all know.
That's going to be a party.
I picked him at the start of the season. The very first episode, he was my championship pick. I think he goes for championship number 2. It's the 9 of Chase Elliott.
There we go.
A race for the championship continues this Thursday night at 10 p.m. Eastern on USA. Remember to set your DVRs to record on Thursday night. You can also tune in Peacock on Friday to catch the latest episode. Here's a sneak peek of this week's episode.
It's coming down to 3 races. Get it done, or you're going home.
The round of 8 playoff drivers are Chase Elliott, Joey Logano, Ross Chastain, Christopher Bell, Ryan Blaney, William Byron, Denny Hamlin, Chase Briscoe.
But you're going to do whatever it takes to move on.
What are you willing to do to win a championship?
A race for the championship this Thursday at 10 p.m. Eastern on USA. Make sure and tune in. And the actual race for the championship continues this weekend at Phoenix with the finale for the NASCAR Cup Series. We will be crowning the champion for the 2022 season. We cannot wait to see you guys at Phoenix. All 3 of us will be there live from Phoenix post-race.
That's it.
We'll break it all down. We'll have the winning driver, the champion crew chief. So make sure first to tune into the excitement of Phoenix as we crown our 2022 champion. We'll see you next week in the backseat from Phoenix Raceway. Enjoy it, and happy Phoenix week, guys.
This year, see more. The full field of in-car cameras.